Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss Bitcoin price for the week ahead of us. First thing, let's just jump to the weekly real quickly and see that we only have 2 hours and 30 minutes remaining. By the time you watch this video, the week might be closed already, but yeah, 2.5 hours before the week closes. And what do we see? This is absolutely bullish. We got 2 weeks completely beautifully green, and we broke out of the previous resistance levels, which can be seen right here at about $38.2 thousand, sitting right on top of those two candles that reversed the trend in the short term. And we just went up to above the previous all-time high, which is about $42,000 here. So now that we have two levels, we know this is bullish, the week is closing. I do not really anticipate us to reverse and close below this two levels in the next 2 hours, which would represent a drop of approximately, let's just measure this, so 14% here, 13-14% for the first level, $42,000, and 38K, 22%. Well, but if you find that this is happening, then maybe it's the time to reconsider your bullish positions and see how you want to manage your positions based on your strategy. You might have a long-term strategy, you might have a medium and short-term, or all of the three. So this levels will help you manage it. And this, in a weekly scale, this would indicate a pretty major mid to short-term reversal if we were to break down here. Okay, and there are two ways that this can happen. We can have some negative news coming out, because I'll just share it with you right here at the beginning of the video, so you can kind of start thinking about it as we keep moving forward and discussing the price. The 2 weeks here, the biggest change, the catalyst for this reverse, was Elon Musk, first of all, like changing his bio on Twitter to hashtag Bitcoin, and that's the first candle. And then the week after that, he posts, the Tesla announces that they have purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and going to be accepting payments for Tesla cars in Bitcoin. So these two candles, they're just sentiment driven. So just remember that, because like while the positive news tends to cluster together, the negative news also tends to cluster and amplify any of the reversals, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. But nonetheless, this week is closing green. We have 2.5 hours to go. The levels to watch here at $42,000 and $38,000. We're looking bullish. We're resuming the trend, but it just feels like we're continuing it due to the sentiment so far. All right, the daily chart. Hop in. We'll leave the lines here, but remember what those are. What's interesting about the daily chart, while this whole thing is sneaking up to the $50,000 area, which is a huge area. This is a huge milestone for Bitcoin, and therefore there might be some resistance, there might be some orders stacked. Somebody wants to just cash out at $50,000, because some people have made fortunes, life-changing fortunes so far, and they just don't want to take any more risks. They know that Bitcoin is a bit overextended by now, and it's like, you know what, selling at 50K or taking some profits partially is not a bad idea for them or anybody. So yeah, there's some expectation for the reversal. We had established the support area around here. That's sitting at about $30,000. Looks quite beautiful. And we also, after that, we just decided to go up. So the trend is up completely. This is obvious. And going right into the 50K resistance area. What concerns me a little bit about this chart pattern is that it's starting to look, maybe let's just switch to the 4 hour. It's going to be a little bit more obvious that this area here is starting to look like a rising wedge. And a rising wedge, normally it's a bit of a bearish pattern. Like it can break on the downside. So with the price prediction here, the first resistance level being around this area, and as you can see how we had some support here previously. So falling down to the bottom of this rising wedges, it's possible. It's not that far, and it's at $43,850. And if we measure it in the percentage term, let's say we break down from the current level, that would be about 10%. So if anybody has balls big enough to go short, on Bitcoin. This is not a bad target. This is reasonable. It's within the reach of Bitcoin. And the expectation here is that the $50,000, first of all, 50,000 is a big milestone, like I said, and some people will be selling, and we may have see some sort of retracement back, or even fall down a little bit lower. Like if we don't fall down from the previous, let's just do from the top here, from the top down to this area at about $42,000. It's 15% pulled back, which is perfectly healthy. And if anybody can capitalize on this, go for it. This is not a financial advice. I would personally actually be very, very cautious about taking the short positions here, because given that we had all the sentiment pumps here and in this area, like we just need another pump of some sort for Bitcoin. The news, some positive news coming out for us to go up through the $50,000 area like it doesn't even exist. It can slice through on really strong news. So we'll notice though, like we'll still look at this area. I'll drop another line here. It's relatively recent, but I do like how we had a perfect rejection here at $40,999. There is another level of support. So if Bitcoin has some sort of rejection here at 50,000, and considering this rising wedge, it decides to come down a little bit, then we can go into 43.8, 42, $41,000, and eventually hit the 38K. The bottom of the bottom here for me personally, I would be looking at this area here at about $30,000, just above this, because it's been such a great support area that if we decide to break down, we'll and revisit some lows, and let's say there's some sort of panic going on. This would be like a massive, awesome pullback of 40%. Still healthy. How likely it's going to revisit this area? I just don't think it's very likely, considering that the positive news, bullish news, is still clustering. They might start leveling off around this area, because just to surpass Tesla, accepting it as a form of payment, is kind of hard to it's really hard to produce more bullish news than that. Because if you look at Tesla, let's jump into here, components of the S&P 500 companies by weight. So if you look at Tesla is number sixth company decides to go into Bitcoin. If any of these companies, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, or Google, decide to throw in or mention Bitcoin, we are definitely going through this area of $50,000, this resistance area here. I will highlight it real quickly so we know what we're talking about. Yeah, we'll close above this, and we're literally steps. We're really starting to kiss this level. Look at this list, guys. It's slickcharts.com. You can use any of the other ones. Just Google components of the S&P 500 by weight or by market cap. And comment below. I'm really, really curious. Comment below which one of these companies will start accepting Bitcoin or add Bitcoin to their balance sheet next. Will it be Apple? This company obviously has a lot of cash. It's cash rich, and the balance sheet has a lot of cash sitting there. They could definitely add some Bitcoin, and maybe start accepting Bitcoin, small little pieces of Bitcoin for their Apple products. It's that would be actually a good move on their part, I believe. Or this Microsoft Corporation, large company, very well established. Amazon, very progressive tech. Facebook, they're already thinking about all this cryptocurrency, including their Libra stable coin, and so on and on. Google, in my opinion, less likely, but I would like to hear in this top 5 or top 10, 15 companies here, like which ones do you think is going to mention or add Bitcoin to their payment or balance sheet? So comment below now. I really want to hear about it. Let's jump to the charts now. So we know we can slice through this on the upside. We know this levels here for the if Bitcoin decides to pull back a little bit. Now what's on the upside? On the upside, let's move this chart down a little bit. We need some real estate on the side. And the prediction here, first one, is from this rising wedge. If we were to take like the top of it and approximately the bottom, and just stick this right at top. Maybe it's going to break out in a couple of hours if it does so. So that's your target one, $53,000. After which point we can of course still pull back. It could be like a breakout, fake out type of scenario. We can go up and we can head down for a little bit, revisiting some of these areas. But nonetheless, this would be actually a pretty good trade. Let's do a measured move from this area, just about 6.5% on a long position is really not bad. And this can happen even without any major news. Now, Apple or any of those big companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet can definitely get some like pump of 10-20%. Let's look at what Elon Musk announcements did to Bitcoin. This is candle 1, and this is candle 2 when the announcements were made. The candle 1 was just Tesla, or no, Elon Musk mentioning Bitcoin. That pump was from about here to the top. It was 20%. Just the mention of hashtag Bitcoin on Elon Musk Twitter was 20%. What about the next one? The next one, Elon Musk mentioned that we'll take the full candle, over 20%. So okay, so now we have a good idea of if a big company announces something about Bitcoin, then we can probably go about 20% up. Let's do 20% from the mention, the time of the mention, about $50,000. Let's do slightly lower and pull 20% up. It puts us to $59,807. This has to be noted. I'm leaving this prediction here for sure. This is realistic. Big announcement. We slice through the resistance. We slice through resistance area and we go 20% up, almost to 60K. It's beautiful. So here's your next level. Let's make this line green and let's put them here in perspective. Almost 60K. So this is your upside potential. Do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video where we're going to review the price of Ethereum moving forward for the week of mid-February, February 15th. Thanks for watching. See you later.